What's up everybody, welcome to another episode of China Update, where I provide you guys with the most up-to-date political, economic and geostrategic analysis on the world's number 2 economy. My name is Tony, let's jump in. Happy Friday everybody, and a very happy new year to everybody. It has been a pleasure over the last 12 months to make these videos for you guys, and I look forward to continuing with China Update in 2022. Yesterday, that is Thursday, speaking at a press conference, a People's Republic of China Defense Ministry spokesman confirmed that the United States and China had indeed resumed military-to-military naval safety talks after the talks had been cancelled last year for the first time since 1998. The spokesman said that from December 15th to 17th, the US Indo-Pacific Command, US Pacific Fleet, and US Pacific Air Forces had a 3-day virtual meeting with counterparts from the People's Liberation Army's Navy and Air Force. These talks were related to the Military Maritime Consultative Agreement, which was originally set up to strengthen military safety between the United States and Chinese naval and air forces in sensitive zones of operation, particularly in the South China Sea, where an accident, if mismanaged, could escalate. The People's Republic of China Defense Ministry spokesman took the opportunity to, unsurprisingly, blame all difficulties in the region on the US side and basically called for the United States to get out of the region. Quote, "The prolonged and intensive reconnaissance and exercises by US military ships and aircraft and their frequent provocative actions are the source of Sino-US maritime and aerial security risks." End quote. Meanwhile, the US Indo-Pacific Command had already released a statement back after the meeting expressing, quotes, "Both the US and Chinese officials discussed sustaining maritime and aviation operational safety and professionalism," end quote, and called the talks a guardrail to reduce the risk of military encounters. The South China Sea is not the only region where an accident could escalate out of control either. Yesterday we discussed the People's Republic of China's Taiwan Affairs statement that the Taiwan Strait situation would likely further deteriorate next year in 2022. On Wednesday, the National Security Department, set up by the controversial and sweeping national security law of the Hong Kong Police Force, arrested 7 current or former senior staff members of online Hong Kong media company Stand News. The following day, on Thursday, 2 senior editors of the outlet were charged under the national security law with, quote, "conspiracy to publish seditious material," end quote. The arrests sparked international criticism and condemnation, especially in the West. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that the arrests were part of a general crackdown on Hong Kong media and an attack on the freedom of the press, expressing, quote, "journalism is not sedition," end quote. Soon after, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Zhao Lijian hit back, claiming that Hong Kong has a better record on press freedoms than the United States and that the arrests were quote-unquote perfectly legal. The same day, a spokesperson with the Chinese embassy in Britain described the police raid and arrests at Stand News as quote-unquote beyond reproach. In what may end up being the biggest hit to the Hong Kong media company, assets of around 61 million Hong Kong dollars, approximately 7.8 million US dollars, were frozen by Hong Kong police. Next up, key economic and financial developments from the last few days in China. Quickly, if you're enjoying the episode, don't forget to hit the like button. It's the only way this video can be shown to new people. And if you're watching this for the first time, you're getting some value from the episode, maybe consider subscribing, hit that bell notification, and you'll have the most up-to-date analysis when I release these every day. Okay, let's move on. Chinese telecoms equipment giant Huawei Technologies, in the face of US sanctions against their business, expects revenue to have been smashed this year and is also pessimistic about 2022 as well. Today, Friday, Huawei's chairman Guo Ping expressed in a letter to staff that he believes revenue this year will be down a whopping 30%. Guo said that Huawei will face a tough business environment next year too, but, quote, "we need to stick to our strategy and respond rationally to external forces that are beyond our control," End quote. In 2019, the US barred Huawei from using Google's Android operating system for its new smartphones, as well as other restrictions on national security grounds. According to Chinese financial media outlet Caixin Media, Beijing has cut the crude oil import quota awarded to independent oil refiners in favor of larger processors, arguing that China wishes to overhaul the sector. Quote, Beijing granted 109 million tons of allowances to 42 private refiners in the first batch for 2022. That is 11% less than in the first tranche for this year. Also, almost 40% of the quota was awarded to 3 mega refineries. End quote. It's argued that these companies operate large, sophisticated plants that are less pollutive. However, it also represents a serious power consolidation in a critical industry, coming at a time of political attention on issues of energy security in the country. In the latest state intervention into Chinese cultural life early this morning, the General Administration of Sport, GAS, has placed an outright ban on tattoos for professional players of football, or soccer for our North American friends. This is a step up from the rule in 2018 requiring that tattoos just be covered up. The GAS even suggested that players get tattoos removed. Quote, the national team and the U23 national team athletes are strictly prohibited from having new tattoos, and those who already have tattoos are advised to remove them. End quote. The GAS expressed that the new requirements are intended to, quote, set a good example for society. End quote. The regulator didn't say when the new rules will come into force or what will happen to those players who do not go through the painful process of getting their full body tattoos removed. And last up, Evergrande. According to multiple media outlets quoting sources, China Evergrande New Energy Vehicle Group started its first mass production of its sport utility vehicles at its Tianjin production facilities yesterday, that is Thursday, 12 days ahead of schedule. China Evergrande New Energy Vehicle Group is a unit of Evergrande Group, which unsurprisingly is facing the same capital restraints that its parent company has been experiencing in recent months, even attempting back in November to sell some of its assets to raise capital. The future of the company is very much in the air. Yesterday, we covered the news that Evergrande failed once again to make new coupon payments worth $255 million due on Tuesday for 2023 and 2025 notes, starting a 30-day grace period. The market didn't respond well to this soft default, with stock prices yesterday morning reversing the modest price gains Evergrande had seen from earlier in the week after it announced that it was back to its construction work. Evergrande has $19 billion in international bonds in cross default after missing a deadline earlier this month. Hey guys, I'd love to hear what you thought about some of the updates we covered in today's episode, so throw your comments below. Always love hearing from you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.